Vaccine, number one way.
We're taking things that are genetically modified organisms and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein, right into the vein, right into the vein, right into the vein.
This is coming from BusinessInsider.com, published on May 1st, May Day. Headline: Bill Gates is pushing for a new global task force to watch out for future pandemics, claiming the World Health Organization has less than 10 full-time people monitoring outbreaks.
How many does it take?
Apparently more than 10.
Also, apparently more than less than 10. So is it 9? Is it 9, Bill Gates?
The Council of 9.
Yeah.
Bill Gates has outlined proposals for a new global pandemic surveillance unit, claiming the World Health Organization currently has less than 10 full-time people on the lookout for deadly new viruses. The Microsoft co-founder was pushing countries to take the threat of a global pandemic more seriously long before COVID arrived, warning viewers of a 2015 TED Talk the world was, quote, not ready for a deadly outbreak.
You're right. It was very suspicious that you said that exact thing, Bill Gates.
Yeah. Speaking to the FT ahead of the release of his upcoming book, How to Prevent the Next Pandemic, Gates said his proposed Global Epidemic Response and Mobilization Initiative should fall under the WHO's management. Typical of billionaire tech guy, like finding the people that are actually carry out his idea. Mm-hmm. The billionaire philanthropist suggested that task force be put together to monitor global health emergencies and coordinate responses across countries. The epidemic response team could be made up of experts, including computer modelers. Where's my bell? Where's my bell? My bell's not ringing. As well as epidemiologists, he said. Prior to the outbreak of COVID-19, Gates claimed the WHO had fewer than...
the computer modelers, that's great because, all the computer models of COVID just worked out so well.
Right. The reason why we went into lockdown was because the computer model said that, 2 or 3 million people would die in America or something, right?
And then... Johns Hopkins University came out and said lockdowns did less than 2%, to help spread of the virus. Yeah. So your computer models are complete bunk.
It's just an excuse to pull the trigger on authoritarian policies.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so where were we?
Technocrats,
yes.
Trusting the software to guide our governance.
Prior to the outbreak, 10 people full-time, even, quote, even those people are distracted with many other activities, talking about the 10 full-time people at the World Health Organization. The current, this is a continued quote of Bill Gates, the current WHO funding is not at all serious about pandemics, Gates told the FT.
I find that hard to believe.
I think he said this, from what I understand, this is what he said back in 2015. He's not saying this right now. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so this is from the TED Talk.
Right. Quote, we're still at risk of this pandemic generating a variant that would be even more transmissive and even more fatal, he added. Maybe he is talking.
I don't think so. Hold on.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think this is from the TED Talk. This is from he's speaking to the FT ahead of the release of his upcoming book, How to Prevent the Next Pandemic. This is all he's saying all this now, I think.
Okay, I'm confused because it says here speaking to the FT ahead of the release of his. Okay, yeah, you're right. So speaking to the FT.
No, he's saying this right now that the WHO is not spending enough money and they just have,
they only have
less than 10 people.
All right.
I find this very hard to believe.
Okay. He added, it's not likely. I don't want it to be the voice of doom and gloom, but it's way above a 5% risk that this pandemic, we haven't even seen the worst of it. All right, Gates. Gates said that more funding was needed to prevent future pandemics. Of course he did. Quote, it seems wild to me that we could fail to look at this tragedy and not, on behalf of the citizens of the world, make these investments. Quote, we're still at risk of this pandemic generating a variant that would be even more transmissive and even more fatal.
Oh, really? Because that's not how I'm told that it works. But okay, Bill Gates, you are also not a doctor, but you are rich, so that does make me want to listen to you, apparently. Yeah, I guess we just all have to go out and buy his book now, yeah?
I think this is part of it. Is buying the book going to fund the World Health Organization? Who knows? The Who didn't respond.
It's not. It's going to fund him.
I know.
Whoa, settle down.
Whoa, man. Gonz. Hey, why are you accusing me of lies?
Bro. Chill,
Basil's not real. Basil's not real.
Jeez.
So, yeah, anyway, this is the Bill Gates campaign is very interesting because amidst all the other stuff, he's still pushing this book and the message and, we need more funding. He's the guy trying to, pump some life into the World Health Organization under his sort of way that he wants it to be and all this stuff. But at the same time, they're rolling out the damage control media reports. And we have one here from the times.co.uk. Bill Gates, quote, "I'm grieving the same way Melinda is."
Yeah. And this has been trending on Twitter all day, too, by the way.
Yeah. After, let's see, it says here, I don't want to read this because it's so, I don't know, just rambling.
It's the PR war.
Right. Yeah,
we had Melinda with her PR army marching out. She's making her appearances. She's sort of tongue-in-cheek kind of threatening to bring up old stuff, including Epstein and his affairs, his multiple affairs, things like that. So, Bill Gates's PR people needed to activate. Now, remember, this was all, what was it, a week and a half ago? The Independents had their data gathering campaign. Ask Bill Gates a question.
Right. Yes.
You just send it in straight from there.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. A week later,
there's
a story. All these big stories coming out.
Yep.
I would have to presume based on the data that they gathered from the Independence poll.
They even post a family photo of Bill Gates, Melinda, and looks like their three kids together. That's the kind of stuff that's private stuff that you do not release to the public unless you are trying to fix the image of somebody.
You got to know he's a human. And by the way, just so part of the reason you're not reading this whole thing is because it's an interview with Bill Gates. I'm grieving the same way Melinda is. Oh, are you the same way? Huh? Okay. And it's about 200 paragraphs long.
Humongous.
It's an extraordinarily long article. And all of these pictures are very flattering. They're extremely flattering, both from a physical standpoint, which, look, I'm not here to body shame Bill Gates, but it is not easy to find a very flattering picture of the guy, okay? That's all I'm saying. And, it's got him and Melinda. He's looking thin. He's looking young. He's looking good. You've got him back in his, pre-Microsoft or pre-success days.
Yeah.
He's doing his thing. You got him hanging out with Warren Buffett. So shows how connected he is. You got him playing tennis with Jeff Bezos.
Bezos with hair. With
Bezos with hair
phase, yeah.
Yeah. Some hair. You've got his family portrait with his beautiful family. This was an excellently crafted PR piece. And then, of course, you got to make him a victim. So they've got a picture of a picket sign.
To say, we understand the perception of what's happened to him.
People don't like me. People don't like rich guys who like to shoot things into little kids' veins.
Right.
All these conspiracy theories about me. Oh, can you believe it?
And it's very fascinating because, this article from the times.co.uk, the headline has to do with Bill and Melinda, sort of, personal interest type of angle. New York Post had this headline: Bill Gates says fundraising meetings with Jeffrey Epstein were a huge mistake. So literally like a direct answer. I'm sure the algos from the Ask Bill Gates Anything generated a ton about Jeffrey Epstein. So of course they're going to be very choosy about who gets to run with that headline. New York Post being a perfect sort of I don't know, center-right type of outlet that can carry a headline like that without too much scrutiny. So very interesting.
Yeah. I love this one quote from the Times interview. What does he want as his legacy? Quote, I don't mean to be known at all. I hope that I succeed working with people to eradicate polio, and that in the next 3 years that's possible. I hope we eradicate malaria. That's more of a 20-year goal. I'm very proud of Microsoft. I spend 10 to blah, 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 blah. But I don't want to be known at all. Just forget my name. Keep my name out your mouth. Don't remember me. Okay, Bill. Don't think you're going to get your wish on that one.
It does kind of speak to the way I think individuals like Bill Gates was brought into a sort of intelligence apparatus, maybe not his choice, but chosen because of what he did and what he was able to sort of be ahead of the game in computing and all that kind of stuff. Sure. And, maybe there's a part of him that wants out. He doesn't like all this stuff, but. Oh,
I think it's just PR. That's the humble thing to say. He's got to be humble. What do you want your legacy to be? Because the bad press is billionaire wants his legacy.
Human population to zero, block out the sun, the whole deal. Yeah.
Of course there's that, but it's also just like gross when a billionaire says, I want to be remembered. Right. You're like, right. Okay, you crazy kook. No, okay. No, the only acceptable answer is, I don't want to be remembered. I just want to fix the world.
Yeah, no one's buying it. Okay, so that's kind of the whole Bill Gates thing. And you're right. We did see the questionnaire being public. And then a week or a week and a half later, whatever it was, a huge swath of Bill Gates stories that tackles all the major issues.
Yeah, I mean, and especially this one. I mean, it's 200 paragraphs long, and it is structured. It's an interview, so hello. They just sat there and asked them the questions, or they didn't do like a video interview. They sent the questions to his PR people, who crafted the perfect answers to them all.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's exactly what we called it to be. It was a data gathering campaign to drive his PR recovery, and of course, Epstein was a part of it.
Yep.
So yeah.